want to encourage you now about taking hold of the Eucharist in your life and putting it at the center of your life. Everything should lead towards the Eucharist and everything flows from the Eucharist. Because the Eucharist is nourishment for our soul. It's our daily food when we receive in Holy Communion. So why not just stay with Sunday, but try weekday a Eucharist as well. Jesus says, anyone who eats my flesh and drinks my blood abides in me and I in him, and I'll raise him up on the last day. So we abide in the Lord, and He in us, and we in Him. Now, it's interesting, when Jesus says, anyone who eats my flesh, the Greek word there is togere. It's really realistic language. It's not just like a sign pointing to something, not just metaphorical language. It's used in the Greek as like an animal munching something, So it's a very real language. Because we do receive the whole Christ bodily risen into ourselves, right? And so we eat of him so we can be changed into his likeness. Now Jesus says, I am the vine, you are the branches. If you abide in me and I in you, you'll bear fruit in plenty. For cut off from me, you can do nothing. So when we allow him to abide in us, he changes us into his likeness. So that the fruits come forward of love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, gentleness, faithfulness, self-control, right? So this togere is an interesting word. It also sort of has the connotation of a staple diet. So it's like, how monkeys, the staple diet is bananas, and horses, the staple diet is, hay, I guess. And cats, the staple diet is milk, huh? Well, what's the staple diet for human beings? The Eucharist. That's our daily food for our sustenance that builds us up as we're meant to in our lives. So to eat of the Eucharist then is a wonderful thing to do. If we do it with a surrendered heart, then we become what we eat. Now, if you go down to McDonald's and eat a McDonald's hamburger, you don't become a McDonald's hamburger. Praise God, right? But because normally with food, we assimilate it into our bodies, and then part of it goes out into the sewer. But with this food, this divine food, we become assimilated into him, and the one we eat. We become like him. If we eat with real faith, with openness, with a surrendered heart. So when you come to the Eucharist, come ready for that change to be able to be brought about in your life, okay? Now I want to say something about the prolongation then of the Eucharistic action in what we call Eucharistic adoration. It's a beautiful thing to adore the Lord to be before the Blessed Sacrament exposed, because it's the real presence of Christ, under the appearance of bread. And when we adore him in that way, we're like basking in the sunshine of God's love. When you bask in the sunshine, you sort of get a little bit of a change to your skin pigment or whatever. It's like that. It's like plants that bask in the sun. Some plants actually turn straight towards the sun, don't they? And like we turn towards Jesus in the Eucharist, we bask in the sunshine, just like the plant gets that photosynthesis happening in the leaves, and the change comes and new energy and new life comes. That's what happens to us. We're just there with Jesus, basking in the sunlight of his great love. So to spend time with the beloved, and you become like the beloved. That's the point. So let's allow that to happen. And we become inflamed with his love. I like that vision of Margaret Mary Alacoque she had back in, a few centuries ago. She was praying before the Blessed Sacrament, and she experienced like her heart being taken out of herself and being put into the burning heart of Jesus, the furnace of his love. And then it was put back into her, inflamed by his heart of love. And it was a searing pain within her, but a beautiful pain of love. Now, I think that's what the Lord wants to do with us when we're present with him in adoration before him in the Blessed Sacrament. He takes our heart and inflames it with his love and puts our heart, as it were, back into us with a whole new fire for him and for evangelization as well. So it's a time of heart-to-heart intimacy with the Lord. He looks at me and I look at him, as it were. We're gazing with one another, and he's bringing through his gaze to me a huge change if I allow that to happen. And the healing happens too. You know, if you have a poor self-worth, sinful patterns, maybe addictions, what better place to go to than to the foot of Jesus? Go to his feet in the Blessed Sacrament. Open it up to him and let him bring the healing that you need deep within you. I remember a man who, he had a terrible temper, anger like nothing else. And he said to me, you know, Father, I spent a whole year just going before Jesus in the Blessed Sacrament. And then I had peace in my heart. My heart had softened. A new thing had happened because the beloved had been there with him, changing him gradually. It's a gradual process, but allow it to happen. Be there with Jesus. Adore him, like Thomas, the apostle who really at first did not believe in the risen Lord, huh? But when Jesus appeared to him and showed him his wounds, then things changed, huh? Thomas is on his knees. My Lord and my God. Now, there may be some doubt in us like there was in Thomas, but just come before Jesus and allow him to open up his wounds, healing for you, and you'll find yourself, my Lord and my God. You surrender to the living God given for us in such a beautiful sacrament, and bless his name.